The UK International Trade Secretary, this should be like a pop quiz. The UK International Trade Secretary, anybody? Anybody at all? Anne-Marie Trevelyan. Anne-Marie Trevelyan is the MP for Berwick-upon-Tweed, wherever that is. She was asked about a philandering culture in Westminster, and the UK International Trade Secretary, Anne-Marie Trevelyan, said that male colleagues should keep their hands in their pockets.
Warning, warning!
No, keep your hands out of your pockets and above the desk where we can see them, you mean? She said allegations that a Conservative MP watched pornography in the Commons chamber were completely unacceptable, but declined to say whether they should be sacked. This was from yesterday. Declined to say whether they should be sacked. Are you kidding me? They were supposed to have their hands full working for their constituents, but apparently they only had one hand free at the time.
Disgusting.
She said some men in Westminster thought being elected made them God's gift to women. Although the vast majority of parliamentarians were committed, she said. Yeah, they should be. She later revealed on this station that a number of years ago she had been pinned up against a wall by a male MP who no longer serves, who said she must want him because he was a powerful man. Well, powerful? We don't need to know that he no longer serves. We can rule one man out.
You're better informed than I am. I don't know anything.
The Tory Chief Whip issued a statement on Wednesday suggesting the allegation that a Conservative MP watched pornography in Parliament could be referred to the Independent Complaints and Grievance Scheme, which deals with disciplinary matters. He needed to be disciplined. Can we, at the time, I thought, can we just skip to the end where they say that lessons must be learned and that's the end of it? But no, we finally found something that would make a member of the regime resign. Finally. Senior Tories questioned why he had not taken action directly against the MP. He? Wait a minute, back up. Who? Who he? Oh, the Tory Chief Whip. It's interesting that the MP concerned, at first he said he wasn't going to resign, and then he had his mind changed. Senior Tories questioned why the Tory Chief Whip had not taken action directly against the MP, whose alleged behaviour was witnessed by two female colleagues in recent months. Asked about the broader culture in Westminster, Trevelyan said, "All of us women in Parliament have been subjected to inappropriate language, to wandering hands, as my granny used to call it. It doesn't change. The vast majority of men I work with are delightful," she said. Delightful. They're committed parliamentarians. They're passionate about the causes they fight. Yeah, that's right. Causes like making the poor and disabled poorer and more disabled, and voting down policies to help those most in need, and voting for policies that protect bankers, and paying more tax, and I've screwed it up again. Never mind. They're all very committed. I looked up the voting record of Neil Parish, and it turns out I'm completely correct in every respect. The International Trade Secretary, Anne-Marie Trevelyan, said, but there are a few for whom too much drink, or indeed a sort of view that somehow being elected makes them God's gift to women, that they can suddenly please themselves whenever that is okay. They can suddenly please themselves. Would you care to rephrase that?
No.
Yeah, Neil Parish confirmed that he's going to resign. At first he said, I ain't going to resign. And then he said, oh, okay, I'll resign. Must have had a chit-chat with somebody, more important. The 65-year-old Select Committee chair, who is a farmer by trade, said he first accidentally viewed the X-rated video after looking at tractors online. He said, my most biggest crime is that on another occasion I went in a second time and that was deliberate. After hearing about the allegation, Mrs. Paris, his missus, said, he's quite a normal guy, really. He's a lovely person. And I thought, is he? Is he a lovely person? Let's look at his voting record. This lovely person consistently voted against greater regulation of gambling, consistently voted against restrictions on fees charged to tenants by letting agents, voted against investigations into the Iraq War, generally voted against a right to remain for EU nationals already living in the UK, consistently voted against strengthening the military covenant that those who serve or have served and their families are treated fairly. Consistently voted against slowing the rise in rail fares. Almost always voted against greater public control of bus services. Generally voted against a publicly owned railway system. Consistently voted for ending financial support for some 16 to 19-year-olds in training and further education. Voted for raising England's undergraduate tuition fee to £9,000 a year. Generally voted against equal gay rights. Generally voted against laws to promote equality and human rights. Almost always voted for reducing housing benefit for social tenants deemed to have excess bedrooms, the bedroom tax. Generally voted against spending public money to create guaranteed jobs for young people who have spent a long time unemployed. Almost always voted against paying higher benefits over longer periods for those unable to work due to illness or disability. Consistently voted against raising welfare benefits, at least in line with prices. Almost always voted for a reduction in spending on welfare benefits. Consistently voted for making local councils responsible for helping those in financial need afford their council tax and reducing the amount spent on such support. Voted for mass surveillance of people's communications and activities. Consistently voted for phasing out secure tenancies for life, and almost always voted for more restrictive regulation of trade union activity. So that's his voting record on issues that concern the poor and the needy and the little people, not leprechauns. How did he vote on issues concerning the rich, I hear you ask? Well, let's have a little look, shall we? Generally voted against a banker's bonus tax. Consistently voted against increasing the tax rate applied to income over £150,000 a year. Almost always voted for reducing capital gains tax, which is how the rich make their money. Almost always voted for reducing the rate of corporation tax. Generally voted against a wholly elected House of Lords. Generally voted against removing hereditary peers from the House of Lords. And generally voted against a more proportional system for electing MPs. So pretty much always voted against the interests of the less well-off and for the interests of the rich and the establishment. Yeah, he seems lovely. Sad to see you go.
Bye-bye.